Hi, everybody. Welcome to our co-op stories night. We are actually going to start doing Zoom calls every Monday night that we possibly can on different topics. And so we thought we would kick this one off with just a stories night where people, oh my gosh, I have my headphones in and I didn't plug them in. Can you hear me better now? Is that better? Okay.
We thought that we would kick this off just with a night of people sharing their stories and how Young Living has positively impacted their lives. Hi, Aria. Hi, Andy. And so my name is Hannah Johnson. I am one of the leaders in the co-op, and we call it the co-op because it's the collaboration of oily people. And there's so many teams and different people from different places and different demographics from all over the place that are in that group and on our team. And so we called it that just because we want to all collaborate and learn and grow together as a team. And so my name is Hannah Johnson. I started that Facebook group, the Co-op. And so I want to share a little bit of my Young Living story with you, and then we're going to hear from some other amazing Young Living leaders, and they're going to share how they have been impacted by Young Living in their lives. So if any of you have heard my story before, I apologize because I have told it quite a few times. But I actually started using Young Living 3.5 years ago. And I've always been a relatively crunchy person. My parents are very, I don't know what the word is, homesteady, I guess, and natural. And so we've always used essential oils and natural things in our home. But I didn't really realize how important that was until I dove into Young Living. And the way I found Young Living actually is my husband bought me a starter kit as a present. And backtracking a little bit, we have 5 kids, and I had just had, our youngest she just turned 2 when I bought my starter kit. But the year leading up to that, I was going through postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, which I didn't recognize until the doctor told me that that's what it was. And I was just having a really hard time coping, and having lots of anxiety and panic attacks and needing to sleep 24/7 and just not being able to cope with motherhood. It was really hard and lonely. And I kind of found myself in this dark place and I didn't know how to get out. And so I actually started Googling things that I could do from home that could give me purpose beyond motherhood. So like home-based businesses that I could be a part of, or things that I could do to give me purpose. I say this embarrassingly. I even Googled if people could be the person who does subtitles for TV shows or something, because I thought, you can watch a TV show and type out the subtitles, something that I could do from home. And so I was looking for something. And then one day my husband brought me a starter kit because he just knew that we liked oils. We had a diffuser already, and he was just being thoughtful and kind and gave me a gift. And so I opened it up and I dug through all that learning material that comes in the lid, and realized that it was a home-based business and that it was a company that believed what I believed and something that I could actually get behind. Because when I was researching other companies, I was like, okay, I don't really wear a ton of makeup. I don't own a ton of bags. There was nothing that I really resonated with, until I got that starter kit. And I was like, this is something that I can do for me, something that I actually use and love and am passionate about. And so I always tell people Young Living's slogan is wellness, purpose, and abundance. And people come for one of those 3 things, whether you have a health need that you need filled through their products, or whether you need the business opportunity to help support you financially, or whether you need purpose in doing something in helping other people live their best lives. And so people come to Young Living for all different reasons. And for me personally, it was purpose. And that was something that I was looking for and that I needed. And as soon as I jumped in and started using the products and learning more about the Young Living lifestyle, I actually found a lot of wellness, because I used to pop Ativan like it was my job. I used to take painkillers like it was my job. And I don't have to do any of that anymore, because one, Progessence Plus and Endoflex have helped support my hormones in such a way that they're good now. They're cool. But I've learned to like use essential oils for so many other different strategies, and just keeping my family above the wellness line. And, you know, now if I feel overwhelmed or like, you know, I'm shallow breathing and about to have like a panic attack, I know that if I have some balsam fir and some vetiver nearby, that I just need to take some deep breaths with that, and it's going to help support me in that way. And so I actually found wellness at the same time when I was looking for purpose. And in that, like, I just, as soon as I started having these wins and victories about oils, I started sharing about them and letting other people know that they could have these victories too, or that if they were going through things like I was, that they could use these products to hopefully pull them out of that and feel like I feel now. And so I also have, it's kind of like come full circle, and now I get to experience abundance too, because this is a business and I love sharing Young Living with other people. And I feel like my purpose here is if I can help other people who felt like I felt, and show them the products that they can use to live a toxin-free life, and sharing that with others, if I can help them pull out and feel like I do now, then that is what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I feel like Young Living has positively impacted me so much, personally, emotionally, financially, like all the things. If I can help someone else feel that way too, then that's absolutely what I want to do. So I'm so thankful for Young Living and for the products that they have given me to support my wellness and my family and our health and our emotions and all the things. I'm just so super grateful. So thank you for letting me share a little bit of my story. I'm going to pass it off now to an amazing leader on our team. Her name is Shirley, and she is so like such a delight to listen to. And she has so many powerful stories from products and all the things. So take it away, Shirley.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. Hi, everybody. I'm Shirley Hurls. I'm an executive with Young Living. I'm really grateful to be on this Zoom with you guys tonight. I'm going to share my passion for my path, for my health and wellness. I've struggled with a few minor health issues for going on 6 years now. And I wanted to find a path that was going to better not only myself, make better choices, not only for myself, but for my family as well. My first experience with essential oils was lavender and getting a great night's sleep. And now we know when we get a better night's sleep, we feel better, right? We can do more, we can function better. I love finding different remedies and different blends that are actually going to help not only myself, but my family, and even my fur babies. Like with this thunderstorms going on, I can pop some peace and calming on her and she lays down and she's good. So it was important for me to dig deeper and do some research. I do struggle with over-the-counter meds and finding it hard to find that perfect balance. Now, I was already using oils and they helped with some of my emotional problems. They helped with my sleep and some of my pain issues. And I thought it was time for me to dig deeper into some supplements. Young Living is such an amazing organization. It's not just about oils. They have such a wide vast range of products, and the supplements are actually amazing. On the outside, I always seem to look like I'm holding things together, but on the inside, I'm struggling. I struggle every day with hypocalcemia. And if you haven't or don't know the effects of hypocalcemia, 1 minute you can be good, and the next minute you can plummet down in pain. I was taking regular calcium carbonate, and we all know what that's like, school chalk. Now, I have another problem. I can't swallow these. They get stuck in my throat. It feels like my whole throat is swelling up, and that can last me the whole day. So I have to crunch these babies down. Yucky, guys. On top of that, I don't know whether you guys know, you have to take vitamin D for calcium to actually work in the body. So on top of that, I have to take Recaltrol, which is another pill that's going to get stuck in my throat for the whole day. Discomfort. Seriously, guys. So it was time for me to dig in and find other sources. I found SuperCal Plus. SuperCal Plus is amazing because it has the vitamin D in it. The problem is, for me, it's still a capsule which gets stuck in my throat. But saying that, I would split the capsule and let it dissolve under my tongue. Not very pleasant, but it did the trick. Within half an hour of my calcium's plummeting, I could feel everything coming back to normal within like 20 minutes, half an hour. If you don't know the feeling of calcium dropping, seriously guys, it's cramping of the muscles, tingling of the nervous system, tingling of the lips. You can literally feel every cell in your body trying to work, topped with pain. Now what I was finding was I'd get these low spells. I would take the calcium, I'd come back up, and then I'd be tired, like excruciatingly tired. So I thought I'd do a little bit more research. I found MegaCal. MegaCal is super, super amazing, guys. It's a powder. When I opened this container, I was so pleasantly surprised that it smells like lemon. It's amazing. It has a little measuring scoop in there as well. So you can take up to 3 of these little scoops per day. Obviously I take more because I'm hypocalcemic. It dissolves in water. So throw it in a big 16-ounce glass of water and glug it back as you need it. Now, MegaCal has the calcium in it, vitamin C, zinc, and magnesium, which are all great for like the nervous system, the bone growth, teeth growth. It's going to settle everything else. It helps oxygen circulate in the body. The only thing with the MegaCal is it doesn't have the vitamin D. So at the moment, I'm still taking the Recaltrol with this, but at least it's 1 pill less that I have to take. Now, I am very, very excited because just a few weeks ago, Young Living launched Super D. So I think it's called Super D. Let me just check my notes here. I've got a whole load of whacking notes here. I think it's called Super D. Yeah, Super D. Now, yes, that is a pill, but it dissolves under the tongue, and then you can crunch it down. So I'm really excited about being able to try that along with my MegaCal. Guys, for me, this is a fantastic journey. I love the fact that I'm going herbal. I love the fact that our health and wellness routine in our home is so much better for not just me, but for everybody. I can't say enough about Young Living and the foundation, the organization, the friends and the beautiful family, adopted family from all my team players. It's just wonderful and so supportive. I love the fact that I am now starting to actually supplement if that's the right word, bringing in a second income to help pay more bills and live a more relaxed lifestyle. I mean, I'm not getting older. I'm not getting younger. I'm not getting older. I'm not getting younger. So it's about time I started to, with my husband, actually live life and see the world a bit more. So to have an income where it allows us to have more free time to spend together and make memories is important to me as well. So yeah, I'm just loving the life because Young Living is allowing me to do that. Thanks, guys. I'm going to pass you over to the fabulous Becca.
Awesome. Thank you, Shirley. It was fun listening to your story and hearing about the supplements. You talked about some I'm not even familiar with yet, so that's awesome. So I'm Rebecca. I live in Ottawa, Ontario. I'm actually going to introduce my friend Kathy Detman to you. She's not able to be here with us tonight, but she made a video for us to all watch together. She had an incident at her home yesterday. Her house was actually struck by lightning, and it just wreaked all kinds of havoc in her world today. And so as much as she wanted to be here, she wasn't able to. So I'm going to share the screen and we're going to watch her video together. So I met Kathy back in probably 2015, so 5 years now, when we were living in Colorado Springs. She's a fellow military wife. And you know how sometimes when you meet somebody, you're like, oh, I like that person. Like, I want to get to know them, or they're going to be my friend. That is how I felt when I met Kathy. I just knew, I'm like, I like that girl. Like, I want to get to know her. And so, yeah, we've been friends ever since. And she's been on this oily journey with me almost 2 years now. So without further ado, I'm going to share her story with you. So just bear with me. Okay, 1 second.
Hi, everybody. My name's Kathy, and I am married to my high school sweetheart. We've been married for 18 years. We have 3 kiddos, and they are 15, 12, and 3, almost 4. I had to close my eyes to think about it. And I'm here tonight to share my Young Living story with you guys really quick. It's been a super crazy day, so that's kind of why my hair is all crazy. I don't normally, actually I do have crazy hair often, so, but today I have a reason for it. I'll just share real quick. We had a really bad thunderstorm and our house got hit by lightning and it caused a gas line to break in our house. So it's been a very crazy, hectic day. I've had people in and out of my house. I've been in and out of my house all day. For a while we got kicked out and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, of course it comes on the day that I'm going to share my story. Let's see, I've been using Young Living for almost 2 years actually. Rebecca McCormick is the one who introduced me to the Young Living oils. Her and I have been friends for several years now. We met in Colorado when we were both stationed there. And now we live in North Dakota. I forgot to share that little bit. So how I was going to share with you guys was what my life was like before I started using Young Living and what it's like now, 1.5 years, almost 2 years since I've been using the oils. For some reason, when we moved to North Dakota, which we've been here for 3 years, I decided, actually I don't know if I decided, I got anxiety really bad. And I think I had a little bit of depression mixed in there. And it got to the point where I felt like I was crazy. I wasn't sleeping at night. I was super overwhelmed with just life and living and in survival mode. It was very ugly. Lots of tears were shed. I just didn't understand what was wrong with me. I was just overwhelmed with all sorts of feelings that I don't know where they came from or why. And then, oh, I just heard something fall and break. And then I started to have, like, right before I would start my period, about 3 days before, I would be crazy. I would be crying, uncontrollable, um, just and almost raging. So I've never had that happen to me before. So I started talking to Rebecca because her and I have been friends about some stuff, and she got me going with my starter kit, and then we started talking about hormones for sure because obviously I had some hormone imbalances going on, and just started using them. And I got on ER right away, so Rebecca shared with me what she used for hormone balancing oils, emotional healing oils, and now it's been almost 2 years, and I no longer have anxiety. Every once in a while it will sneak up on me, but nothing debilitating like it was before. And the only thing that I've done different is use the oils, use the oils, use the oils, and use the oils. So it's got to be the oils. That's the only thing that's changed. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I sleep through the night. And so it's not like a magic potion you put on you and bam, you're better. It was very gradual, and it was almost like, like I've been sleeping through the night lately, or I didn't even know I was going to start my period because I didn't have my crazy cycle moments. So I wonder what that's about. And then, when I start to feel better, which it's just gradual, like I'll slowly stop using the oils as much, and then something will sneak back. And so that's how I know that they work and that they have been working. And then I'll just start using the oils again, and then I'm like, I'm not feeling like that anymore. I seem to be feeling better. So that's kind of my story on how I've been using the oils and how they have worked for me. There was one other thing I was going to share too. I used to, so we have our 12-year-old son, just real quick because I know this is getting long. I used to struggle around his birthday every year for some reason. Actually, it's not just for some reason. When he was born, my husband and I were going through a really rough time, and I don't remember the first year of his life very well because it was just a really poopy time in our marriage. We were struggling really bad, and I always beat myself up around his birthday, and I really struggled to make him feel special. And it's not that I don't love him at all, like that's not even a thing, but oh shoot, I'm gonna have to leave you guys hanging. The gas guy's about to leave. Maybe I can pause this and come back. Anyways, I'll just tell you, I don't struggle with his birthday at all anymore. I don't struggle to make him feel special. I don't have any, so sad feelings would always come up around his birthday time, and I think it's because of everything that it was like a trigger around his birth, that it was a crappy time. So that no longer sneaks up and tries to steal the excitement in the birth of our son, and I'm able to celebrate him now and not feel sadness or the hurt from what had happened all those years ago. And I do strongly believe it has to do with the emotional healings from the oils. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story. I'm sorry it was kind of quick and it might have been all over the place. It really has been a crazy hectic day, but I just wanted to share my story with you, which this is not like me either. I'm just going to say that. Usually this would be a fear thing for me, and I would be like, oh, heck no, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. So that's something, that's another story. I probably have a million other ones now that I'm actually thinking about it, but maybe I'll get to share again. I hope you guys all have a lovely evening and enjoy sharing each other's stories, and I hope that it's recorded so I can go back and watch it. Take care. Bye.
Okay, that was Kathy Detman, and I just love her story. She has just a variety of experiences with the oils and ways that they've changed her life, and like really life-changing stuff. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So we're a military family. We have 3 teenagers, and so we move every 3 years. And we were living in Kingston, Ontario. It was 2010, and a friend of mine invited me to her house. She was going to talk about Young Living and essential oils, and I'd never heard of either, really. And I'd never heard about using oils for your health. And I remember sitting around the kitchen table. It was a 101 class, and just listening to all the things they said these oils could do, all the testimonies that people had already experienced with these oils. And I remember just being super fascinated. And I was already very naturally minded when it came to healthcare and lifestyle. I was doing the best I knew how at the time, making a lot of my own laundry detergents or shampoos. And I mean, it was all a mess. And none of it really worked, and sometimes it cost more than you really wanted it to. And so I didn't like using pain pills or syrups. Like, I wasn't somebody to really go grab those over the counter medications and stuff when we had things come up in the home. And so when I was sitting there listening to all these things these oils could do, I thought, you know what, this is perfect. This is what we need. And I got my kit that night and couldn't wait for it to arrive and start using these oils. And we have had so many testimonies over the years with these oils, and I tried to think of what some of the bigger ones were, and I think a lot of the big ones have been with my husband. So even when he was young, like a teenager or early 20s, he had really bad back pain. So he has one vertebrae that's really twisted, and probably once or twice a year that vertebrae would go out. And I can remember even like a really young guy laying on the floor in so much pain, hardly able to take a deep breath because of the pain in his back. And he was going to school and then going to work, and I mean, how you can't live like that. So he would take a Robaxacet, all his muscles would relax, and he would be fine. And so but once I got my kit, I was like, wait a minute, what's this raindrop kit all about? And I couldn't afford the whole kit at the time. So I looked at the list, I ordered 4 or 5 oils from the collection, and I didn't have to give a raindrop. So I just put these oils on his spine whenever his back would start to hurt. And by the end of the day, within 12 hours, he'd be fine. And normally when his back went out, it would be for 2 to 4 days. And so whenever his back would start to hurt, we'd get those oils out. I'd put him on his back probably every 4 hours. And by the end of the day, again, his back was fine. And so we ended up getting a raindrop kit eventually. And yeah, now we regularly do raindrops. His back does not go out anymore. Since we got oils in our home, like, that has never happened again. I've never seen him lay on the floor in back pain ever again. And so that was huge for him. He used to also have seasonal allergies. Every spring, every fall, he'd be taking the pills from the drugstore. And you know what? After we learned that we need to switch out our products that we're using in our home, that disappeared as well. And so, it started with the oils, and it was about digestive support and back pain and sleeping. And then I realized, you know what, we need to clean up our house a little bit, get some of the products out. And Young Living has over 600 amazing products just like Shirley had mentioned, the supplements and then personal care products. So I realized that, like, I had always thought if a product was on the shelf, it was safe. Somebody had tested it for us. And I learned through my Young Living journey that that is not true in any way. And they're actually full of ingredients that are harmful for our bodies. And you know what? I've realized that the side effects from using the products that have lots of toxic ingredients are so subtle that you don't actually make the connection that, oh, I'm kind of having an allergic reaction or allergies. You know, you think it's from something, but really it's from what you're washing your clothes with or washing your hair with. And so we started cleaning that out, and we started seeing, you know, even more changes in our home. And then that led me to learning about emotional healing with oils. And so some of my greatest victories for myself have been emotional ones. Growing up, I had like a really traumatic experience with mice, which left me, okay, I'll tell you a little bit about it, but one day I was getting dressed. We had been away from our home for a few months. We had been staying at our grandparents'. And when we got back home, I was getting dressed. I stuck my hand in my dresser drawer to grab something, stuck it right into a mouse nest, like mama, baby's hair, blah. And I just took off screaming. Well, since that day, I had had a terrible fear of mice. And so that was when I was just a kid. 2010, I'm sitting in my grandparents' living room. It's Christmas time. The Christmas tree's in the corner, and I hear presents rattling, and I'm like, oh no, there's a mouse. Like, there's a mouse. And it ran across the floor. It didn't even run in my direction. And I literally felt fear come up the back of my neck and just hover. And I thought to myself, I was like, I have a problem. I'm like, this is worse than I thought. And this is not good. So seriously, anytime I saw a mouse, I would run and scream like it was get me out of the room, get me away from that tiny little tiny creature. Okay, so 2017, my husband gets deployed to Africa for 6 months, and I say, okay, I'm going to use peace and calming and stress away every day while he's away, thinking to myself it was for emotional support, stress management while my husband's away. Well, the deployment comes and goes, and sure enough, I use those oils day and night. And one day I'm outside whippersnipping in the yard, and a little mouse runs by, and I say, oh, cute, a mouse. And then I just laugh out loud. Like, I've never uttered those words in my life. Like, the old me would have thrown the whippersnipper in a panic and made my husband finish the job. Like, I would not go back in that area. And I tell you, since that day, so 2017, right? So 3 years, that my fear of mice have never come back. And I'm even not afraid of snakes anymore. Like, mice and snakes were kind of in the same category. I don't have a reaction to those things at all. And so it's just amazing me what these oils will do. And being someone who likes to be more natural and, you know, not use a lot of medications and things, I really didn't feel equipped to take care of my family. Like, if the kids had a fever or had an upset stomach, I really did not have many options to take care of them. And having these oils in my home gives me the confidence to take care of my family properly. And I can't tell you the last time someone in our house threw up or had a cold, or, you know, if anybody start not feeling well, we just get the oils, you slather them on, and you drink your water, you drink your Ningxia, and off you go. And so it's just been amazing. One other thing was, we recently, well, probably a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, did an emotional cleansing class online. Shelley had a class online, and so I had attended the class. And this lady showed us how to walk through, there's 13 different oils, how to do an emotional cleanse. And so I did that a couple days in a row, you know, practicing and these kinds of things. And I didn't know what to expect because I didn't have anything in particular on my mind that I needed an emotional cleanse for. But I actually had a relationship in my life at the time that was a little tense, and it really wasn't in a good place. You know, I wasn't really wanting to be around this particular person, wasn't really enjoying their company, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. And we do this cleanse. I ended up doing it 3 times, and it completely refreshed how I felt about that person. I felt like our relationship had a reset. And I was like, wow, that's amazing that, just like we take the garbage out of our house, sometimes we got to take the garbage out, like our emotional garbage out. And so, yeah, we're just having so much fun with these oils, and I'm just excited to see what happens next. And the fun part about sharing Young Living with other people is getting to hear their testimonies as well. Getting to hear, like Kathy's story, hearing what has changed in her life, and it's just amazing, because for me, the changes last. You don't go back to the way you were before. It just keeps going. And so it's just been amazing. I think there was a question here. Yep. So for the seasonal irritations, it was lavender, lemon, and peppermint. But actually, I think a really key part was pulling toxins out of the home that were contributing to his reactions as well. And when it came to his back, when I just picked 4 or 5 oils, it was like oregano and thyme and peppermint. And I didn't put them on his feet at all. I just put them right on his back. I didn't even know what I was doing. And so it's really about what the oils do the work for us. We don't actually have to know how it works or why it works. It just works. And so, yeah, that's a bit of my story. So we're going to open it up right now. If anybody has anything they would like to share, if anybody has something they'd like to share, like an oily testimony, or, one of the highlights from your Young Living journey.
Before people do share, I do want to, first of all, thank you guys for sharing your stories. That was amazing. I loved hearing them. I loved hearing Kathy's. I've never actually met her before, so that was kind of cool to hear her talk. When you were saying it right now, how you love hearing other people's victories and wins that they've had through oils. And I just wanted to add, like, that I feel the exact same way. As soon as I hear somebody have a win or a victory, like, it's a little piece of freedom that they get back that was taken from them, and like a little, standing taller or having more posture. And I think that it's just such a gift and such a blessing. Like, on our team, I had actually asked my aunt to share, but she was too shy to do a video, but she has such powerful, amazing testimonies, living as like an asthmatic for decades, and all the meds that she has taken and that she doesn't anymore. And I think it's such a blessing to be able to hear so many wins all the time, over and over. It never gets old. And so I love it. So if anybody else has a win, or even if it's something silly, even if frankincense made your wart fall off, like, I would love to hear any wins or victories that people have had.
Oregano makes the warts fall off.
Okay, good to know.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah. My husband actually had a plantar's wart on his middle finger for almost 3 years. And he'd been to the doctor and had it froze off, it came back. Did the over-the-counter freeze off, it came back. So I suggested to him that he diluted oregano and put it under a Band-Aid. All masculine as he is, no dilution, straight on. Within 2 days it fell off, and it's never come back. So yeah, amazing. Wouldn't recommend it for little kiddos neat, but it certainly worked for him. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good to know.
Yeah.
Jamark just recently got rid of a wart with oregano as well, so I agree, it does work.
Awesome.
Wonders.
Anybody else?
I love that Jennifer just ran away. It's okay if nobody else wants to share any stories or anything. I feel like I could talk all day about oily winds and things. So I'll do one. Wade was always super skeptical about whether oils actually worked or whether they were a placebo effect or not. He always just thought that they were placebo, but he's super sweet and kind, so he would just humor me. But I had read once that eucalyptus is a little intense for children, and so to substitute it with pine, because pine is like more gentle than eucalyptus. And so our daughter Carly once had like a wicked cough for, I don't even know, like a week. And she would wake up in the night coughing. She would like throw up because she was coughing so much. And we would have to like sit her up, give her like some homeopathic coughing syrup, because you can't give kids cough syrup if they're like under 6. And so we would give her like this honey one or whatever, but it would wake her up, and then it was just like a nightmare all night long. And so I thought I would try pine, because it says on the Young Living website that it's good for coughs and colds. And so I didn't actually put it on her. I would just put it on my hands and rub it together and like hold it like here in front of her face. And so she was sleeping and started coughing in her sleep. So I put some pine on my hands and kind of held it, like just hovering over her face. And within like 20 seconds, she had stopped coughing and just settled right back and gone to sleep. And so Wade was like, hold up. Okay, she didn't even know you did that. She's asleep. So maybe these actually work and they're not just placebo. And so that really was what sold it for him, because before that he thought that it was just like, man, Hannah thinks these work. That's cute. But then when he saw it actually work on Carly when she was not even awake, he was like, oh, okay, these are legit. And so now whenever our kids have coughs, we use pine all the time, and it's amazing. So anyway, that's one of my wins.
Awesome.
Yep. It's funny how it's often the men that are harder to accept the oils and what they do. But I never thought of it till right now. But Jonathan used to actually get strep throat like almost every year. So bad, he had to get medication. He'd be in bed for a long time. But that doesn't happen anymore either. And he's even had victories, or we've had victories in our home with just using thieves for different infections and that kind of thing that we've had. And it's just, I know the oils work, but it always amazes me when they do. And it's just so much fun. It's great to have something that actually works, because a lot of natural options don't always work. And so it's great. Anybody else?
I'll share about Mitchell. Mitchell had the same thing. He was on asthma medication for since he was 2, probably. He was in the hospital at least every month and was put on steroids, and he had a puffer. And ever since we changed our products without even knowing it, I didn't change it because of that. But ever since we changed it, he hasn't had a puffer since we changed it. And he just uses RC. He's had nothing ever since. And Simone too, she had strep throat all the time too. But she got it every 6 weeks, and she hasn't had it at all. Yeah. But Mitchell's the biggest thing. He was sick all the time. And ever since switching to thieves and RC and everything, it just has never came back. That's one of our biggest wins. We have lots of wins, but that's the biggest one. And without even knowing, we changed it. Like, I think we came back from the farm, the Black Spruce farm, and I came back and I got sick and headache and just everything felt different. And we didn't change our products yet in our house. We still had all the toxic laundry soap and the dish soap, just all the cleaners. And I came back and I felt off. Like, I didn't feel as good as I did at the farm. Like, I felt like achy and headache and cough and then I just thought, like, maybe it's the products. So I grabbed the garbage bag and got rid of everything, and I bought the thieves kit. And ever since then, like, Mitchell hasn't been like on a puffer. So that's kind of our biggest win for sure.
That's amazing. I love it. I think it's so funny, like, people so often say, like, they don't notice the change until they've already been through it. Like, Rebecca didn't notice that her emotions had been, like, untriggered until it already happened. And, like, I feel the same. Kathy said it about sleeping. Like, until you walk through, you're like, oh, hey, I don't react this way anymore, or I don't have headaches anymore, or I'm having a good night's sleep. And it's almost like such a gentle thing that you don't even realize that it's happened until you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't suffer from that anymore, or I'm not triggered by that anymore. And it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Because sometimes I know for me, I think about dealing with emotional things sometimes can feel daunting. We think it might be painful. We think it might be hard. But from my experiences with the oils, it's just happened. It's been a gentle process. And, it's just amazing how, these oils are strong and they're very potent, but they're very gentle. And yeah, they're amazing, life-changing. All right. If nobody has anything else to say, I'm going to stop the recording and then we can maybe chat a little bit more if we want. But thank you guys so much for joining us and listening to the stories. We're really glad that you took the time to spend with us tonight, and we're looking forward to the next one next week as well. Same time, same place. Okay, bye.